Sometimes we get the question, when is handguard working, or when did the system trigger? There are two rules I explain mostly of the time. So the first one is, you have about the cameras, we have two zones. So the orange zones, you can show your fingers, you can hold your workpiece, and you are allowed to go parallel to the saw blade. Do not move your fingers into the orange zone. If you move it, the saw blade will trigger down. The other zone is the red zone, and the red zone means if you show your fingers into the red zone, the saw blade will trigger all the time. So red zone means you are near to the saw blade, it's a dangerous situation, we have to trigger down the saw blade. But there is another thing we have into this intelligent system, and this is a calculation. Because there are also things like slipping, falling, or doing some fast action around the saw blade that's dangerous. And in this case, we can calculate the height of the saw blade depends on the material thickness or whatever, and the private speed, feed speed of the worker. So different work speeds, different materials, different workers. Out of these two numbers, we calculate the point when handguard has to trigger down. That means the point or the distance to the saw blade when it's going down is not every time the same. It could be like this or like that. I will demo this to you. So I switch on the machine, and first I will try like a regular work speed. And you see I'm here in the beginning of the guard. I drive back in working position. I switch on the machine again, and right now I will do it faster. And you have seen it was a smaller distance. So sometimes it could be a small distance if you are slipping and falling, and if you have regular work speed, it can be a huger distance to the saw blade. This is coming out of the calculation. So don't show your fingers to the red zone and don't slip to the saw blade. Both things can trigger down the saw blade, but it will protect for you your fingers.